On 3, family, on 6, 1, 2, 3,
6,
4, 5, 6,
family.
Good job.
Controlled by Gray. Darius Gray goes up strong. Lot of contact. Roberts going deep on the first play. Has Sherrod Johnson. One play, 67 yards, 6 points.
Number 5, Stu Cosby.
Finds Cosby in the corner. His three-pointer. It's good.
Looking long into quadruple coverage. Jaden Brown came down with that football. My goodness. That's an incredible catch.
In the corner, Burnett, three-pointer. Bang! Brady Burnett! For Brandon, he couldn't hit, but Cosby taps it right out to Burnett. His three is good. Brown gets a screen from Gregory, gets in the lane. Blocked by Gray!
On 3, family, on 6, 1, 2, 3,
6,
4, 5, 6,
family.
Good job.
Controlled by Gray. Darius Gray goes up strong. Lot of contact. Roberts going deep on the first play. Has Sherrod Johnson. One play, 67 yards, 6 points.
Number 5, Stu Cosby.
Finds Cosby in the corner. His three-pointer. It's good.
Looking long into quadruple coverage. Jaden Brown came down with that football. My goodness. That's an incredible catch.
In the corner, Burnett, three-pointer. Bang! Brady Burnett! For Brandon, he couldn't hit, but Cosby taps it right out to Burnett. His three is good. Brown gets a screen from Gregory, gets in the lane. Blocked by Gray!
On 3, family, on 6, 1, 2, 3,
6,
4, 5, 6,
family.
Good job.
Controlled by Gray. Darius Gray goes up strong. Lot of contact. Roberts going deep on the first play. Has Sherrod Johnson. One play, 67 yards, 6 points.
Number 5, Stu Cosby.
Finds Cosby in the corner. His three-pointer. It's good.
Looking long into quadruple coverage. Jaden Brown came down with that football. My goodness. That's an incredible catch.
In the corner, Burnett, three-pointer. Bang! Brady Burnett! For Brandon, he couldn't hit, but Cosby taps it right out to Burnett. His three is good. Brown gets a screen from Gregory, gets in the lane. Blocked by Gray!
On 3, family, on 6, 1, 2, 3,
6,
4, 5, 6,
family.
Good job.
Controlled by Gray. Darius Gray goes up strong. Lot of contact. Roberts going deep on the first play. Has Sherrod Johnson. One play, 67 yards, 6 points.
Number 5, Stu Cosby.
Finds Cosby in the corner. His three-pointer. It's good.
Looking long into quadruple coverage. Jaden Brown came down with that football. My goodness. That's an incredible catch.
In the corner, Burnett, three-pointer. Bang! Brady Burnett! For Brandon, he couldn't hit, but Cosby taps it right out to Burnett. His three is good. Brown gets a screen from Gregory, gets in the lane. Blocked by Gray!
On 3, family, on 6, 1, 2, 3,
6,
4, 5, 6,
family.
Good job.
Controlled by Gray. Darius Gray goes up strong. Lot of contact. Roberts going deep on the first play. Has Sherrod Johnson. One play, 67 yards, 6 points.
Number 5, Stu Cosby.
Finds Cosby in the corner. His three-pointer. It's good.
Looking long into quadruple coverage. Jaden Brown came down with that football. My goodness. That's an incredible catch.
In the corner, Burnett, three-pointer. Bang! Brady Burnett! For Brandon, he couldn't hit, but Cosby taps it right out to Burnett. His three is good. Brown gets a screen from Gregory, gets in the lane. Blocked by Gray!
On 3, family, on 6, 1, 2, 3,
6,
4, 5, 6,
family.
Good job.
Controlled by Gray. Darius Gray goes up strong. Lot of contact. Roberts going deep on the first play. Has Sherrod Johnson. One play, 67 yards, 6 points.
Number 5, Stu Cosby.
Finds Cosby in the corner. His three-pointer. It's good.
Looking long into quadruple coverage. Jaden Brown came down with that football. My goodness. That's an incredible catch.
In the corner, Burnett, three-pointer. Bang! Brady Burnett! For Brandon, he couldn't hit, but Cosby taps it right out to Burnett. His three is good. Brown gets a screen from Gregory, gets in the lane. Blocked by Gray!
So 3 family 6, 1, 2, 3,
6,
4, 5, 6.
Good job.
Controlled by Gray. Darius Gray goes up strong. Lot of contact. Roberts going deep on the first play. Has Sherrod Johnson. One play, 67 yards, 6 points.
Number 5, Stu Cosby.
Finds Cosby in the corner. His three-pointer. It's good.
Looking long into quadruple coverage. Jaden Brown came down with that football. My goodness. That's an incredible catch.
In the corner, Burnett, three-pointer. Bang! Brady Burnett! For Brandon, he couldn't hit, but Cosby taps it right out to Burnett. His three is good. Brown gets a screen from Gregory, gets in the lane. Blocked by Gray!
So 3 family 6, 1, 2, 3,
6,
4, 5, 6.
Good job.
Controlled by Gray. Darius Gray goes up strong. Lot of contact. Roberts going deep on the first play. Has Sherrod Johnson. One play, 67 yards, 6 points.
Number 5, Stu Cosby.
Finds Cosby in the corner. His three-pointer. It's good.
Looking long into quadruple coverage. Jaden Brown came down with that football. My goodness. That's an incredible catch.
In the corner, Burnett, three-pointer. Bang! Brady Burnett! For Brandon, he couldn't hit, but Cosby taps it right out to Burnett. His three is good. Brown gets a screen from Gregory, gets in the lane. Blocked by Gray!
So 3 family 6, 1, 2, 3,
6,
4, 5, 6.
Good job.
Controlled by Gray. Darius Gray goes up strong. Lot of contact. Roberts going deep on the first play. Has Sherrod Johnson. One play, 67 yards, 6 points.
Number 5, Stu Cosby.
Finds Cosby in the corner. His three-pointer. It's good.
Looking long into quadruple coverage. Jaden Brown came down with that football. My goodness. That's an incredible catch.
In the corner, Burnett, three-pointer. Bang! Brady Burnett! For Brandon, he couldn't hit, but Cosby taps it right out to Burnett. His three is good. Brown gets a screen from Gregory, gets in the lane. Blocked by Gray!
So 3 family 6, 1, 2, 3,
6,
4, 5, 6.
Good job.
Controlled by Gray. Darius Gray goes up strong. Lot of contact. Roberts going deep on the first play. Has Sherrod Johnson. One play, 67 yards, 6 points.
Number 5, Stu Cosby.
Finds Cosby in the corner. His three-pointer. It's good.
Looking long into quadruple coverage. Jaden Brown came down with that football. My goodness. That's an incredible catch.
In the corner, Burnett, three-pointer. Bang! Brady Burnett! For Brandon, he couldn't hit, but Cosby taps it right out to Burnett. His three is good. Brown gets a screen from Gregory, gets in the lane. Blocked by Gray!
So 3 family 6, 1, 2, 3,
6,
4, 5, 6.
Good job.
Controlled by Gray. Darius Gray goes up strong. Lot of contact. Roberts going deep on the first play, has Sherrod Johnson. One play, 67 yards, 6 points.
Number 5, Stu Cosby.
Finds Cosby in the corner, his three-pointer. It's good!
Looking long into quadruple coverage. Jaden Brown came down with that football. My goodness. That's an incredible catch.
In the corner, Burnett, three-pointer. Bang! Brady Burnett! For Brandon, he couldn't hit, but Cosby taps it right out to Burnett. His three is good. Brown gets a screen from Gregory, gets in the lane. Blocked by Gray!
So 3 family 6, 1, 2, 3,
6,
4, 5, 6,
family. Good job.
Controlled by Gray. Darius Gray goes up strong. Lot of contact. Roberts going deep on the first play. Has Sherrod Johnson. One play, 67 yards, 6 points.
Number 5, Stu Cosby.
Finds Cosby in the corner, his three-pointer. It's good!
Looking long into quadruple coverage. Jaden Brown came down with that football. My goodness. That's an incredible catch.
In the corner, Burnett, three-pointer. Bang! Brady Burnett! For Brandon, he couldn't hit, but Cosby taps it right out to Burnett. His three is good. Brown gets a screen from Gregory, gets in the lane. Blocked by Gray!
So 3 family 6, 1, 2, 3,
6,
4, 5, 6,
family. Good job.
Controlled by Gray. Darius Gray goes up strong. Lot of contact. Roberts going deep on the first play. Has Sherrod Johnson. One play, 67 yards, 6 points.
Number 5, Stu Cosby.
Finds Cosby in the corner, his three-pointer. It's good!
Looking long into quadruple coverage. Jaden Brown came down with that football. My goodness. That's an incredible catch.
In the corner, Burnett, three-pointer. Bang! Brady Burnett! For Brandon, he couldn't hit, but Cosby taps it right out to Burnett. His three is good. Brown gets a screen from Gregory, gets in the lane. Blocked by Gray!
So 3 family 6, 1, 2, 3,
6,
4, 5, 6,
family. Good job.
Controlled by Gray. Darius Gray goes up strong. Lot of contact. Roberts going deep on the first play. Has Sherrod Johnson. One play, 67 yards, 6 points.
Number 5, Stu Cosby.
Finds Cosby in the corner, his three-pointer. It's good!
Looking long into quadruple coverage. Jaden Brown came down with that football. My goodness. That's an incredible catch.
In the corner, Burnett, three-pointer. Bang! Brady Burnett! For Brandon, he couldn't hit, but Cosby taps it right out to Burnett. His three is good. Brown gets a screen from Gregory, gets in the lane. Blocked by Gray!
So 3 family 6, 1, 2, 3,
6,
4, 5, 6,
family. Good job.
Controlled by Gray. Darius Gray goes up strong. Lot of contact. Roberts going deep on the first play. Has Sherrod Johnson. One play, 67 yards, 6 points.
Number 5, Stu Cosby.
Finds Cosby in the corner, his three-pointer. Hello, and for the final time this year, welcome to Knowles Field. Season's on the line today as St. Christopher's welcome St. Stephen, St. Agnes. The 5-12 matchup here in the VISAA State Tournament. The winner will travel to Christchurch on Monday.
Earlier in the season, St. Chris did play Christchurch, and they lost 7-12. Close game, but Saints do feel like they have a chance if they win this game to move on to win against Christ Church.
These two teams matched up earlier in the year. St. Christopher's won 15-2.
That game was about 2 months ago, though, so teams obviously have changed, but St. Chris does feel like they have the advantage in this game.
And we are almost ready to go here. It'll be Louis Goyne and Russell Bosick for the initial face-off. And St. Stephen's will win it. And they'll be going quickly here. As mentioned earlier, they lost 15-2 on this field earlier this year. They cannot afford to get off to a slow start with their season on the line.
Like you mentioned earlier, Saints won 15-2. They've been experiencing pretty big margins of victory this whole year. They've averaged just over 13 goals a game while only allowing 7, so that's a victory margin of 6 per game. They look to replicate that here today.
Good defending there by Will Ackerley, the electric sophomore, and that is not a good pass as Deacon Begley intercepts it. He's going all the way and saved. Putting high pressure on the goalie. It's stolen by Charlie Edmonds, but can't get a shot on target.
St. Chris playing with a lot of energy here earlier. Begley, I love that take. He got the steal and just pushed all the way. Good save, though, by the goalie, Jonas Vincent, but Saints playing with a lot of energy and passion early here.
And more high press from the Saints. And it's deflected by Hugh Mack. St. Stephen's needs to get it over. They only had 5 seconds to do so. They just did in time. And it'll be out of bounds going to the Saints. There's J.J. Tidwell. Gets it across.
Saints will now slow it down after a fast start.
This is James Ayers. Over to T. Gehring. This possession much calmer than their first. Hugh Mack behind the goal. Back out to Ayers. He'll fire and saved again. Impressive work from Jonas Vincent.
Couple of tough saves already from Vincent. Ayers firing from deep there, low. Vincent met him there, and then Begley was pretty much right at Vincent, so 2 impressive saves so far.
Garrett Lyon fell to the ground, somehow managed to split 2 defenders, but then he throws it away. It'll be going to the Saints.
It's already the second or third turnover from St. Stephen's St. Agnes. Saints playing with a lot of pressure.
Some great passing from Regan. And now the Saints will look to attack. T. Gehring and Harrison Fuller come on. Here is Fuller with it, scored a first half hat trick on Tuesday against Woodbury. Here's Bowen Ireland.
Ireland recently broke the school record in goals with 58 on the season. Season's not even done yet, so he's got time to add on to that. He is also approaching the points record, I believe.
Here's Hugh Mack. Back to Harrison Fuller. Now Gehring. He'll fire, tries to bounce one in. It's hit away. Shot clock resets to 60, and a flag is out. It'll be against... We'll see who it's against. The refs are discussing that. It's going to be 30 seconds for Daniel Cicere.
Saints with an early man-up opportunity. Got a good opportunity to capitalize here. Take an early lead.
Mack back to Bowen Ireland. Now Edmonds. Ireland. Ayers, the Saints moving it around. Fuller. Edmonds. He'll fire, and it's 1-0. Charlie Edmonds gets the Saints on the board. And just under 4 minutes in with that extra man up, they have the lead.
Saints have been knocking on the door for a while this game already. Edmonds took a good shot, went high. Vincent not able to get it. Saints go up 1-0.
And the face-off won by St. Stephen's. That was a dangerous pass there. They do manage to keep it, though. Jack Gans. Here's Garrett Lyon. St. Stephen's hasn't been able to get a shot away yet this game. Now they do, and it's saved by Regan. Now the Saints looking to push the tempo. It's with Whitfield Mullins. Now Hugh Mack. Here's Bowen Ireland, the school record holder for a single season in goals, but a crease violation there.
What's even more impressive about Ireland is he's only a sophomore, and he's already broke the single season goal record, so only can imagine what next 2 years will have in store for him.
Yeah, I have to imagine he might be showing up at the top of that list multiple times. But meanwhile, here's Ayers. Gets around his man. Tidwell cutting right and deflected away and controlled by the goalie.
Good defense there by number 4, Ben Fenson. Kind of just stuck that long pull up there, deflected Tidwell's pass.
Some very good pressure in the St. Stephen's half by the Saints, and it's knocked away. Ireland comes away with it, then loses it, and then it's lost again by Hank Mullins. Now St. Stephen's has it. A chaotic sequence of events there.
Both teams playing really hard here early. Obviously, state playoff game, a lot on the line. Both teams playing with great effort so far. St. Agnes with 10 left on the shot clock here.
Need to get a shot away quick. And they're not going to try to square it across goal. Regan was right there. That's a nice pass to find Hank Mullins.
It's Regan to Mullins, the Swanee duo there. Mullins recently committed to Swanee. He's only a junior, but Regan will be playing there next spring.
And Hugh Mack loads up, and that's a very impressive save by Jonas Vinson. Some lackluster defending gave Mack all day to wind up into that shot, and he fired a rocket into the top of the goal. But Regan out of position here. I'm not sure Jack Gans saw it.
Yeah, definitely missed opportunity there. Regan, for some reason, was about 10 yards out of the goal. Gans, I think, could have just fired it in there and scored easily. But
he was looking to pass, but I don't think he needed to.
Yeah, big missed opportunity there from St. Stephen St. Agnes.
They will keep the ball, though, as much to the dismay of Coach Burke on the sidelines, still jawing at the referee. He thought it wasn't a shot. He thought Gans was trying to pass it.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with Coach Burke there. Gans seemed to have no intention of shooting.
Yeah, his body wasn't turned towards the goal at all. Good defending there by Begley. And there's the shot. Deflected. Still loose out in front of goal. The Saints come away with it. It's with Begley. Now whistles, though. So interference against the Saints. So the shot clock goes back to 80. St. Stephen's gets it back.
Good help by Walter there.
Some good passing, though, and then the shot is fired well high.
Good eat there by Whitfield Mullins. Kind of just stood there and took the hit, but St. Stephen Agnes will still have the ball.
Not for long, though, as it's thrown away. That's going to be an over and back. Saints going quickly. They're screaming for the whistles to be blown, and now they finally are. Here's Edmonds. And the Saints not happy with the officiating. They took a long time to restart play, and it prevented the Saints what would have been a 3-on-2 chance at goal.
Yeah, Mullins was running down the field waiting for the whistle. Didn't get it for about a couple of seconds. Saints will take it slow now.
Yeah, those few seconds were all St. Stephen's needed to reset their defense. Some great passing here as Ireland fires wide right, but the Saints will keep it.
It's the third or fourth big shot from Saints, taking it about like 15 yards out. They've been shooting from deep so far.
And St. Stephen's takes a timeout, their first of the half. We'll be back in a minute. Hello and welcome back out of the timeout. The Saints have it. 50 seconds on the shot clock. Here's Bowen Ireland. Hugh Mack. Mack gives it to Ireland. Fuller over to Ayers. And they're giving it back and forth. Now Ireland. Shot clock down to 20. The shot! And it's a goal from T. Gehring from a mile out. Doubles the lead. It's 2-0.
Gehring went high-low there. Vincent not able to make the save. Saints been trying to shoot from far out a couple times this game. Finally get it to hit the bottom of the net. They go up 2-0 with about 1:50 left in our first quarter.
And whistles. It's going to be a hold going to the Saints.
Good job by Russell Bosick, still fighting. Lou was held him, so Saints will get the ball here.
Yeah, Bosick being called up from the JV squad. Only an 8th grader has completely changed the season for St. Christopher's. Early in the year, it felt like every face-off, it was at least an 80% chance they weren't going to control it. Now those odds much higher. Here's Ayers. Over to Ireland. Bowen Ireland fires and saved. Feels like a matter of time until he manages to score this game. He has had some dangerous looks.
I'd like to see St. Chris get a little closer to the net on a couple of these shots. Like we've been saying, they fired a lot from deep. Probably going to have a higher success rate if they get in a little closer.
From what I'm seeing from St. Stephen's, this reminds me of watching a low-level La Liga side on defense. These guys are just sitting back and forcing you to fire from far out. And
Sure.
You know, when you have a keeper who's playing like Jonas Vincent is, it's not the worst idea to try to make the Saints take those shots from far out and beat the keeper, but this might be a chance to get a good look inside. Hugh Mack over to Tidwell, and he can't get it on target. That's probably the best look the Saints have had all night.
Yeah, good shot though.
And makes up for it there. It's 3-0. A lack of defending. Everyone from St. Stephen's camped around in front of the goal. Tidwell from about 10 yards out. Couldn't miss that time.
Liked both of those shots there. Tidwell the first time came in, made a nice dodge, got in, and then that time just got the ball and fired. Saints go up 3-0. On the note of St. Stephen's defense, they did let up 15 goals last game, so definitely trying to do something different. It's worked to some extent. Saints only have 3 goals this quarter, but...
And the face-off won by Bosick. Here's Ireland. Saints have 15 seconds to try to find their 4th. Bowen Ireland evading, slipping, gets back up, spins, out in front of goal, fires, and saved. Would have been a phenomenal end to the quarter for the Saints, but they'll be more than content with 3-0 going to the second. We'll be back in 2 minutes. And welcome back. Second quarter, just about ready to get going. Saints up 3-0. And Bosick hit the face-off toward his teammate, but Will Ackerley couldn't control it. So for the first time this game, St. Stephen's wins a face-off. Not going to keep it for long, though. Will Ackerley knocks it away. Edmonds comes up with it, up to Ireland. And he spins, slows things down.
Great poke check by Ackerley there.
And now Ireland loading up, firing just high.
Coach Burke not happy about that shot. I don't really blame him either. That was about 20 yards out from Ireland. Really early in the shot clock. Would love for St. Chris to get some closer shots to the goal. St. Stephen's St. Agnes still scoreless here. Haven't really got many quality looks.
That pass finds its way through. There was an open look for a second for Cole Chadwick. Now here's Griffin Boston. Here's Garrett Lyon. And he throws it away. It'll be staying with Saints. No, it'll be going to the Saints.
Yeah, that was
ruled out a pass and not a shot.
Yeah, not a shot there, so St. Chris will get the ball. Really good defense by St. Chris, double teaming when needed and just really suffocating so far.
And Colin Weiss able to keep it along the sideline and over to Hugh Mack. Harrison Fuller over to Mack. And tried to get it over to Ayers, I believe, but it was deflected. And that's an impressive interception by T. Gehring, leaping into the air. And St. Stephen's, though, does well to recover, prevent a fast break. Here's Edmonds. Right back to Gehring. Thought about a shot, thinks better of it. Harrison Fuller. Ayers right back to Fuller. Those two going back and forth. Now Hugh Mack out behind the goal. Mack couldn't wrap it around. Now Ayers out near the 25-yard line.
St. Stephen's St. Agnes really no pressure on the perimeter.
And that shot goes wide. Saints keep it.
Shot clock will reset to 60.
You know, that might have been the first time I've ever seen a coach plead their case to the ref like that and actually win. At first, they weren't going to reset the shot clock, and then Coach Burke and Coach Horner started pleading to the refs about how it did deflect off the goalie. Neither of them were buying it at first, but eventually the Saints do get the reset. They'll throw it away here, though. And it'll stay with the Saints. And they'll take a timeout. We'll be back in 1 minute. And back out of the timeout. The Saints have it 32 on the shot clock, leading 3-0. Fuller back to Bowen Ireland. Ireland tries to wrap it around, goes wide. The Saints will keep it. Shot clock down to 20. All the way back out to Fuller. Finds Mack. Now Fuller again has some room. Fires! And under the keeper, it's 4-0.
Fuller went low, stayed low there. Really just kind of a ground ball. Vincent not able to get the stick down there quick enough. Fuller with his first goal of the day. Saints will go up 4-0.
By this point, last Tuesday, Harrison Fuller already had a hat trick against Woodbury. Score. The Saints had 4 goals at this point either way. So still a very good team performance. And the face-off will be won by St. Stephen's.
Ball's down on the ground. Good double team from St. Chris. Gets it back.
Here's Mullins. Now Hugh Mack. All the way back to Mullins. Now Gehring. T. Gehring gets around his man. Now back to Ireland. Finds Hugh Mack. And from point blank range, what a save from Jonas Vinson.
Yeah, that was impressive.
I don't know how he kept that out.
Yeah, St. Chris for the first time in this game
Has nearly just scored a goal there. Hayden Regan way off his line, but the pass may be shot. I don't know what he was going for, but whatever it was went awry. Refs thought it was a pass at least, and
back to that last shot. St. Chris got in close to the goal for I think the first time this game, but a good save from Vincent.
they nearly just repeated it there, but they tried to get it to Edmonds, thrown too high.
That'll be another turnover for St. Stephen's St. Agnes. St. Chris pushing now with Baruch.
Baruch over to Begley. Now Mack. Hugh Mack gets around his man. Now Ireland finds Begley. Bowen Ireland has a lot of room. James Ayers gets around his man, gets inside, fires just high.
Good shot from James Ayers. Nice dodge. Was going for that top right corner. Just missed.
Knocked away. Edmonds knocks it back out. Ireland fires. Saved.
Another great save from Vincent. Ireland went low. Vincent met him there.
Vincent had to get down like a hockey goalie there to save that one. I think he got it with his legs. But St. Stephen's just unable to hold on to the ball.
Yet another turnover for them. It's been really sloppy so far.
The Saints have more goals than they have shots, which it's never going to end well. Fuller over to Ayers. Now Ireland loads up, fires, and this single-season goal-scoring record holder has another, number 59 on the year. It's 5-0.
Ireland's been kind of floating around that spot all game. Just took a couple shots. That one finally finds the bottom of the net. Saints go up 5-0 with just over 4 minutes to go until halftime.
And the face-off won by the Saints. It's with Will Ackerley. Over to Hugh Mack. Shovels it over to Edmonds. Saints will slow it down now.
Good recovery by St. Stephen's St. Agnes. St. Chris had numbers there, but they were able to calm that initial run down.
Here's Ayers. Over to Hugh Mack. He'll fire now, and it's 6 goals. The Saints pouring it on here early.
That soft perimeter defense is starting to bite St. Stephen's St. Agnes. St. Chris finally hitting some of these deep shots. I mean, there's just no pressure on the perimeter from St. Stephen's St. Agnes. Hugh Mack just able to rip it with a big load up.
And the face-off will be controlled by St. Stephen's.
Almost another turnover there, but they are able to hold on.
And that shot saved by Regan.
Chadwick is showing low that whole load up, so Regan just met him there low. Good save there.
And that shot might have gone through the field goal.
Yeah, sailed way high there.
St. Stephen's gets it back, though, and that shot is in the back of the net. They've pulled one back. It's 6-1.
St. Stephen's just a bit of a mistake there. They've been solid all game, but just let the defender get by. Just that one time, Regan not able to make the save. Saints lead still is 5, though.
And slipped under the stick of Whitfield Mullins there. Had a good chance to go run with it. Now heavy pressure being applied against Josh Salamone. But he finds a nice pass. And now right out in front of goal. Saved by Regan. A 2-on-1 chance. Shut down by the Sewanee commit.
Another missed opportunity there. Had Chadwick pretty much wide open, but...
And now that shot on the other end. Edmonds makes them pay for their mistakes. What could have been a St. Stephen's goal turns into a St. Christopher's goal. And the lead's right back to 6. It's at 7-1.
It's a sign of a good team right there. They made a mistake, but just went right back and emphasized another goal there. So St. Chris now moves their lead back up to 6. Not letting their mistakes get in their head. Just keep playing. And Edmonds' second goal of the day. Tuck Humphreys there in the game for the first time today wins a face-off.
Now timeout by the Saints, their final one of the first half. It's 7-1. So back out of the timeout now. Still sitting at 7-1 to the Saints with 92 seconds in the first half. Harrison Fuller. Now that's a nice pass in for Edmonds, but shoved off the ball. A flag comes out, though, and maybe a bit of a late flag. The St. Stephen's defenders were looking shocked.
Check seemed to be a bit high, so I believe that was the call on fencing. Yeah. Saints will be man up.
So it'll be 1 minute this time instead of the 30 seconds from when the Saints scored earlier this game.
So shot clock will reset. St. Chris will have a chance to have the last shot here.
Leading 7-1 in this game. They've been very impressive for the first 24 minutes. The wind's picking up here at Knowles Field. A bit of a cool day for what you might expect in mid-May as that shot just over from T. Gehring.
.25 left on the clock.
Mack. Now Ireland, Fuller, Edmonds, and the easiest finish T. Gehring is going to find in his life. Beautiful ball movement from the Saints. Sets him up near that far post, wide open, and he couldn't have missed if he tried from that range.
Yeah, great ball movement and execution there by St. Chris. Edmonds finding a wide open Gehring. Could have shot that with his eyes closed and still made it. St. Chris up 8-1 now.
And the face-off will be won by Tuck Humphreys. The Saints might try to add one more. Hugh Mack gets around his man, fires, and they do add another one. It's 9-1. They only needed 10.4 seconds to score.
Credit that goal all to Tuck Humphreys there, winning the face-off quick, got out and moving, found Mack, and he executed. Great 2 goals from St. Chris. All the momentum in their favor going into the locker room for halftime.
The face-off will be won by St. Stephen's. 1 on the clock, though. Not even get a shot away. So a dominant first 24 minutes for the Saints. A 7-1 second quarter gives them a 9-1 lead at the break. We'll be back in 15.
On 3, family. On 6, 1, 2, 3.
Saints.
4, 5, 6.
Family.
Good job, good job.
Controlled by Gray. Darius Gray goes up strong. Lot of contact. Roberts going deep on the first play. Has Sherrod Johnson. One play, 67 yards, 6 points.
Number 5, Stu Cosby.
Finds Cosby in the corner. His three-pointer. It's good.
Looking long into quadruple coverage. Jaden Brown came down with that football. My goodness. That's an incredible catch.
In the corner, Burnett, three-pointer. Bang! Brady Burnett! For Brandon, he couldn't hit, but Cosby taps it right out to Burnett. His three is good. Brown gets a screen from Gregory, gets in the lane. Blocked by Gray!
Hello and welcome back to the second half. St. Chris, a very comfortable first half, up 9-1 at the break. They are in control here.
Ended that first half on a very high note. 2 goals in about 20 seconds. Look to carry that momentum into the second half and get out of here with a W.
If St. Stephen's is going to try to spark a comeback in this game, they'll need to start scoring quick. Right now, the Saints have probably about twice as many goals as St. Stephen's does shots. So not a good formula for them. They've just not been able to get any good looks, and the few good looks they have taken, Hayden Regan's been there to save them. He's out of the game, so they're hoping maybe they can find something there. Freddie Mooring in goal now. And the first shot Mooring sees goes off the post. And it'll be picked up by the Saints. They're looking to run a 4-on-3 break. The Saints have numbers. Edmonds fires and saved. That's Jonas Vinson.
Be interesting to see if St. Stephen's St. Agnes changes their defensive strategy a bit. Their game plan in the first half was kind of stay off, let St. Chris shoot from deep.
I mean, I feel like with the score sitting where it is, they have to start being aggressive, trying to force turnovers. That's a turnover there. And Hugh Mack makes it 10-1.
Good start to the second half. Early goal. St. Stephen's St. Agnes not really organized on defense. Saints take full advantage of that.
So 10-1 the score now.
Sposik back out there for face-off after Humphreys took a few.
And that's an impressive challenge there.
Yeah, really good check from Ben Fencing. Kind of went flying through the air. Used that long pull to get the ball out of Bosik's stick. St. Agnes had numbers, and they will score. St. Chris back to an 8-goal lead. It's Andrew Seraphin. It'll now be Wright Gehring facing off for St. Chris. So third face-off man St. Chris has put out there today.
That one taken away. And could have been a good look for St. Stephen's to score again, but it was thrown away, trying to get it over to Cole Chadwick.
It's kind of been the theme all game for St. Stephen's, St. Agnes. A lot of turnovers, a lot of missed opportunities. It's one of the main reasons they're down 8 goals right now. Big check by Louis Goyne on Baruch. St. Stephen's, St. Agnes will have the ball pushing.
And that intercepted by Will Baruch. He wants to run now. Saints have numbers once again. 5-on-4. Finn Walter gets around, has it knocked away, gets it back and scores!
Really impressive there from Walter, kind of dodging through the defense with that big long pull. Able to get it in and get pretty close to the goal for a shot. Good fast break offense by St. Chris. Walter, a defensive guy, doesn't get over midfield a lot, so obviously he's trying to get as many opportunities to score as he can. He emphasized on that one.
So 11-2 the score. And that shot gets by Mooring. So St. Stephen's has found something here in the second half. That's their second goal already. And it's 11-3.
St. Stephen's and Agnes, main thing I'm seeing here is they're getting a little more open looks here. First half, St. Stephen's was not allowing anything, but Hart found a gap in the zone and fired.
Yeah, maybe just a lack of focus for the Saints now with this big lead, but you know, if they're not careful, things could get away from them. Doesn't seem likely, but never say never.
Another good face-off win from Humphreys.
Harrison Fuller. Over to Ayers, now back to Fuller. He fires, and it's wide.
Tough shot there from Fuller. Had a bit of an angle, just sailed it high.
And it'll be out of bounds, staying with the Saints. Gehring over to Ayers. Fuller. He'll fire and finds that bottom left corner. It's another goal.
Another deep goal from the Saints. Fuller from about 18 yards out. Went high, bounced it low. Vincent not able to make the save. Saints lead continuing to grow.
And face off won by St. Stephen's.
St. Stephen's and Agnes looking for something here.
Spinning. Good defending from the Saints and saved by Mooring.
Double team came for St. Chris, and Mooring just made the easy save.
And that shot goes wide.
Starting to see maybe a couple desperation shots here. That shot was pretty far out for the Saints.
And there's another goal. So St. Stephen's going blow for blow with the Saints.
Yeah, really back and forth here. Not what we saw in the first half. First half was pretty much all in the Saints' favor. Only one goal for St. Stephen's United, but they've come back with 3 goals here in only the third quarter. So a little more back and forth than we saw in the first half. It'll be Gehring facing off against Lou.
And the face-off won by St. Stephen's.
Throwing it around, looking for any opening.
And that shot, they might have been able to beat Mooring, but just couldn't get it on target.
Yeah, they're doing a better job of finding, a little better shots. First half was just pretty much non-existent in terms of good quality shots. Saints offense will take it slow here.
Bowen Ireland. Back out. The shot from Gehring is wide. Now Gehring right in front of goal.
Shot clock's down to 20.
And now back out, it'll be over and back. Here's Evan Heyman. And good defending by the Saints. Able to tip the pass. Sends a guy to the ground. That's going to be a foul.
Push in the back there from Walter.
And that shot is nowhere near the goal.
St. Stephen's Agnes will retain possession. Had a chance there, got close in, just bobbled by St. Stephen's Agnes. Saints offense will again take their time here with a 8-goal lead with 1:45 left in the third quarter.
And now Finn Walter fires and scores. Or excuse me, that's J.J. Tidwell.
Tidwell, that's his second goal of the game. That goal looked very similar to his first. That left side of the field, shot it low. Saints extend their lead to 7. So even though St. Stephen's St. Agnes has found better luck on the offensive side, Saints have also continued their dominance on their offensive side.
Under a minute to go here in quarter number 3. A 9-goal advantage for the Saints. And that shot over the bar.
Get a couple of dodges though from Bishop Hart. Was able to find separation. Great save from Mooring. Was able to get low. Saints pushing now with 10 seconds left.
Will Ackerley. Clock down to 8. Gehring scoops it up off the ground. Fires. And I think offsides was whistled.
Think so as well. 3 seconds left, not much for St. Stephen's St. Agnes to do.
And they'll just launch it long. And that does it for quarter number 3. The Saints lead 13-4, 12 minutes to go before punching their ticket to the quarterfinals. We'll be back.
controlled by Gray. Darius Gray goes up strong. Roberts going deep on the first play. Has Sherrod Johnson. Finds Cosby in the corner. His three-pointer. It's good.
Into quadruple coverage. Jaden Brown came down with that football.
In the corner, Burnett, three-pointer. Bang! Burnett, his three is good. Brown gets a screen from Gregory, gets in the lane. Blocked by Gray!
Hello and welcome back. Fourth quarter, just about ready to get going. And the face-off won by St. Stephen's. They're going quick. And maybe not a necessary pass there as he just passed it into a sea of St. Christopher's defenders.
Yeah, another missed opportunity from St. Stephen's St. Agnes. Thought Harry Luke could have just shot that, but tried to pass. It's an example of where you got to be selfish.
Over to Ackerley. Has it knocked away. Gets it back. Harrison Fuller. And his shot across goal. Never mind. They're going to not say it was a shot. They're going to call it out against the Saints.
Yeah, not sure I agree with that, but we will continue to play.
There's no one he was passing to, so had to have been a shot. And just like that, St. Stephen's answers back. A goal for Cole Chadwick. Poor transition defense.
Yeah, not great transition defense there from St. Chris. Chadwick was left wide open. Pretty easy goal for him. If you look at this half, it's actually tied 4-4 in terms of goals. So
yeah,
St. Stephen's St. Agnes definitely coming out of the halftime break, definitely more fired up and just playing a little bit better.
Maybe a bit of a lack of focus by the Saints, but they've still been playing much better.
It's got to start behind the midline.
And they fix up the shot clock. I heard the refs yelling 74. I was confused at first because definitely not a 74 on the field. But that's an impressive save by Moore and kicked it away. Now they're going to call a crease. Yeah, they're going to call a crease violation. Yeah. That's a beautiful pass there all the way up to Baruch. It was about a 50-yarder. And the shot from Begley saved.
Begley shot that off one leg and in the air. Tough shot by him.
And that's a nice challenge from Will Ackerley. Knocks it away from Andrew Seraphin, takes a stick in the process. And now the Saints want to go. Hugh Mack over to Edmonds. Right back in. And Bowen Ireland has number 60 on the year.
Yeah, great transition offense by St. Chris Edmonds. Not rushing anything and just found Ireland. Ireland made one move and was able to score relatively easily.
It's been a quiet-ish second half for Ireland, excuse me. And even this game, with 2 goals, he's below his usual scoring count. The Saints 15-4 on the year. This is game number 20. So 60 goals in 20 games. Bowen Ireland averaging a hat trick this year. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, not bad from a sophomore.
Here's Hugh Mack. Fuller. Over to Ayers. Now back out to Fuller. Ireland gets it back. And that's a nice save. It'll be out of bounds. No, it'll stay inbounds, actually. Ireland able to get there in time. Fuller. Over to Ayers. Fuller. Over to Ireland. Now Mack. Shot clock down to 30.
Like how St. Chris is taking their time here.
Yeah, no reason to rush it. You're up 9 goals, 8 minutes left. If you limit the number of possessions, it makes a comeback for St. Stephen's essentially impossible.
Another good save from Vincent. Mack went low to high there. Vincent met him. Good check from Wynn Lucas, able to knock the ball out of Goins' stick.
And that one looked like it went in. I'm not sure. We didn't have a great angle on it, but
I think it may have hit outer far post. Close, though.
and that shot finds the back net. So another goal for St. Stephen's this half. They've looked much, much better. It's really been night and day out of the locker room.
Yeah, like we were saying earlier, score in second half is 5-5, so without that first half the Saints had with the 8-goal advantage, we'd be looking at a much closer game now. St. Stephen's and Agnes definitely coming out of the break stronger offensively.
And that shot gets past Mooring again. So now St. Stephen's has actually outscored the Saints in the second half.
I'm sure St. Chris's coaching staff not happy with this second half performance. Definitely going to be something they'll look at when going into next week's game. 7-goal lead with just under 6 minutes to go for St. Chris. This game not completely over yet. St. Stephen's St. Agnes showing some signs of fight here late.
If they keep scoring like they have in these past couple minutes, you never know.
Definitely are going to have to move fast, though. No time to take any precautions here. They got to just go quick if they want to win.
And that'll be going to the Saints.
What St. Chris needs to do on offense is just milk this clock here. They'll have a full 80. It's not what you want. It'll stay St. Chris ball. Almost a turnover.
Here's Fuller. Back out Edmonds. Right back to Fuller. Now Gehring. Hugh Mack. Gehring over to Fuller. Now Ireland. Looking for number 61 on the year. Not going to have it here. Gets it to Gehring, though. He fires. And it's just wide.
Gehring shot with about 33 left on the shot clock. I mean, if I was St. Chris, I maybe would take it down to 5 and then shoot. I mean, no reason to rush anything here.
Fuller. Now Edmonds. Cutting in. Knocked down. Now takes a shove. But it'll be St. Stephen's ball. And now there's a hole in the St. Chris defense. Mooring was off his line with the St. Stephen's attacker only 20 yards away. Not sure where he was, but luckily for the Saints, the shot went wide.
Yet again, another missed opportunity. You have to think if St. Stephen's St. Agnes would have capitalized off, they've had a lot of good opportunities. This could be a closer game here.
Ireland all the way back out. Now Hank Mullins, and his shot saved.
Vincent has had a lot of good saves this game.
Now a flag is out. A St. Stephen's player down, and the refs will blow the whistle now with 3:08 left.
St. Stephen's and Agnes will have a man-up opportunity.
Now behind the goal, shot saved by Mooring.
So that will be goal number 3 on the day for Bowen Ireland. That's his average on the year, a hat trick. I think that'll be the nail in the coffin there. Saints extend the lead to 8 with little under 3 minutes to go.
Face-off will be still contested out there on the fleur-de-lis, and finally St. Stephen's will come away. Shot is wide, going to the Saints.
Desperation shot there, kind of loaded up and fired from about more than 20 yards out.
And that pass intercepted. St. Stephen's has some numbers. That's some great ball movement. It's going to be another goal for them.
Definitely a better showing than when these two teams played about 2 months ago. St. Chris scoring the same amount of goals with St. Stephen's and Agnes with 8 goals instead of 2 last time.
And they're going to whistle a hold. It'll go to St. Stephen's. And the shot saved by Mooring. That's a good outlet pass to James Ayers. Saints have numbers. They want to go quick. Ayers taking it himself and shoots it wide. Edmonds will keep the Saints with the ball, though.
The Saints can just about take the clock down to 0 with about 70 on the shot clock and 1:24 on game clock.
Here's Ireland. Nice pass in for Mack. And it's another goal for the Saints. Make it 16 on the day now. And that's going to be another goal for St. Stephen's. Ben Fenton, the defender, weaving through the Saints and puts one in.
Very high-scoring game. 9 goals for St. Stephen's St. Agnes. I'm sure St. Chris coaching staff will not be happy that St. Chris allowed 9 goals to this team. They only allowed 2 goals to a couple months ago.
Yeah, it seems like there's been a lack of focus, really, in the second half defensively. I mean, in the first half, the Saints only allowed 4 shots. In the second, they've allowed 8 goals.
Yeah, big discrepancy between the 2 halves here today.
But when all is done, no matter what the score is, the Saints still will be punching their ticket to the quarterfinals. They'll travel on Monday. This is the final game on Knowles as a flag comes out. We'll be at Christ Church. Excuse me, that game is on Tuesday for now. We'll see with the whole weather situation. It's supposed to be a lot of rain. Talks of baseball game maybe not being Tuesday.
Yeah, if St. Chris wants to have a chance at beating Christ Church Tuesday, they'll have to play a lot better than they did today. First half was great for St. Chris, but second half kind of fell apart in terms of defensively.
If they play like they did in the second half, they'll have a tough time. But, you know, when you go up into the locker rooms 8-1, you can afford to have a so-so second half, and that dominant first half is going to carry them to a win here. 16-9 the final, and the last time we'll be seeing Knowles Field this year. St. Christopher's wins 16-9. They'll be headed to the quarterfinals. They'll play Christ Church Tuesday. I'm Edison Palumbi alongside Patrick Leckie. And for the final time this year from Knowles Field, we thank you all for